When God wrote the book of life as the true author and alchemist of he who is called the Iliad that came into the walking tree in the water, as we are all in the water, and we're all in the land, or 1 foot on the sea and 1 foot in the land, or should I say 1 foot on man and 1 foot on woman. From the dirt you come, and from the dirt you return, where mother-bearing Eve rises up as the Satan worm, or a piece of Hades, where I describe Eve as Hades and I describe Adam as Orion. Man-on-man fornication, but had Jesus Christ gave man what it is that they had desired in the creation of Adam and Eve when the angel wars took place, and spat in the eyes of the father, Lazarus, or Adam rising up as Lazarus, or the old corrupt dog, right? The dog that eats the crumbs under God's table, Orion, or the dog Lazarus that eats the crumbs under Orion's table, brother of Hades, who is the Satan worm that the dragon Uziel eats. With that Iliad, King David Wiglaf of Abibel, who comes to thieve the stones of Ryujin from the walking tree, the tree of Ryujin. In the story of Ryujin, the dragon Orion rides and holds him in a place of testimony in the Ark of Uziel, where Michael the Archangel is in union with San Miguel. In that Trinity I talk about with Beelzebub, where I write about with Beelzebub and Perseus and Asherah, who was favored just as Jesus Christ favored in Artaxerxes and King David's Trinity, Jesus Christ as the only son, where I say man-on-man fornications, and man gives woman himself from the sea, gives woman himself, or from the semen, gives woman himself, and she gives her bestiality from the door of the father Adam, the father of all the earth and the mother of all the earth, Adam, and Eve, the Satan worm Lazarus. If Beowulf, or Belon, the dog dragon, if you take and understand life as a succubus, or a man who is at odds with being tired or without or whatever, I hate you because I'm without nutrients and lack proteins and vitamins and stuff like that, I'm being sucked from, and I'm tired and all those things. But remember, the bumblebee that eats off of the flower, and off of that flower, they don't argue one another. As soon as the bumblebee sleeps at night, it wakes up, and the first thing it does is it runs for that flower. This is the idea of making it through the final burning, if what is written in Revelation 14, for what they have done to the saints. I have required life for the bloodshed of beasts, where we had fought and contended our right, or fought and contended our no rights, and having rights in our fighting and contending, where the watchers are purposely unfair. I say a merchant, I mean watcher. When I say that, the watcher seeks God and one with true understanding, as some of those Psalms read in Psalms 9 or 12. I can't recall exactly which Psalms, but it's somewhere in that area between 10 and 13. but God seeks one with real understanding. So Asherah, being the succubus tree, ash tree, being the succubus tree of Jesus Christ, who is all the saints, 144,000 of them. And in that requirement of life by the bloodshed of beast, where man slaughters livestock and offers it to the Lord for whatever purposes of a opus mangum, or for the corruption of houses and dividing of houses through bestiality, where man, as soon as he lays with a beast, it's written that you are sure to die, and meaning our lust had overpowered us, and our mouths have become not acceptable in the kingdoms of heaven, and filled with, I hate you, you cunt, bitch, I hate myself, right? Man is woman, love woman as yourself, or man on man fornication, as I explain it. And their mouth is filled with fuck you and all kinds of ugly stuff. Now granted, criticism is a likable thing, but in a manner of acting versus a manner of true relations that are not of real violence and hatred and anger to exploit or to engulf in the fire of lust between man and woman in a household. The act is something else. I can't say whether or not it is something that is acceptable in heaven or vile, tainted, and corrupt, but it is written in the book that one must lose the idol, the bull, used for slaughter in our households, where we lay with beasts and you are sure to die. The house is divided, and the cutting of those lusts in whatever holy mountain, or in whatever beast that has that seal of nature in it, wherever that goes, and for whatever practice and so on. But remember, that is not to say that it doesn't go to heaven in salvation, or, as I explained, the trick of Jesus Christ, where the wall was built to say, you cannot enter heaven, you cannot enter heaven, and you cannot enter heaven, and you cannot enter heaven, where I say the only thing that enters heaven is the alpha worm in the Word of God. So, in the deception of our eyes, where we see the vile, tainted, corrupt, should we smile, or is it a sin to smile and laugh in awe at those things where it is a likable thing? One must lose the idol. These are things to contest in the Colosseum, where man is favored to speak for the Lord. Out of all 144,000 saints, sucked from in the spine of San Miguel, sucked from, and in that trinity, Beelzebub and Perseus, who favored Asherah as the sucking tree of all saints, 144,000 saints. San Miguel holds that trinity of Beelzebub and Perseus, favoring Asherah as Jesus Christ, in a different trinity, with Artaxerxes and King David favoring Jesus Christ as the only son or only daughter. Let's say the only land, mother bearing Eve, or the only seed, father bearing Adam, or Orion bearing Adam, and Hades bearing Eve. And the saint that was born in it, Matthew, who, the way I describe a cross, a woman appearing as a beast, a house divided, is the same as a cross, or a corrupt man that can't overcome his own lust in bestiality. That's the way I consider the crossing. I can't say that I saw Jesus Christ fly down and be crossed on a cross, but it is written that the wisdom comes down to marry its husband. Jesus Christ from Aeser came down to marry its husband in wisdom. And all 144,000 saints sucked from in the ash tree Asherah, San Miguel of the spine and cerebral area. The centipede I call part of the rising of Eve, and whatever alpha worms that might have associated seals in what bestialities, or what nature might have a seal in what bestialities of any fornication. Prophets are favored as speakers of those lords and kings who have those alpha worms. When I speak, this testimony, for instance, is that people might be able to overcome the burning by accepting the succubus as a self, or I am woman, or I am the father of the rod, Satan, the earthworm, and the church is the penis fish. So I am Eve, yet I am the son of Adam, who had risen up Adam as Eve. As soon as the lust had died in that bestiality, Adam and Eve had fornicated. As soon as Adam's lust had died in the Son, and it was risen up as the dog, the sick dog Lazarus, and it ate the crumbs under the table of God, Orion. Or, hear me, when books are established in Ryujin that the Iliad came down and took the stones of Orion from St. Matthew and redeemed this bull, or I will kill you and all of your firstborn, 1,000 children, promised to a saint. I will kill all of your 1,000 firstborn. Right? Redeeming the bull is the same as holding a house together, where man sleep with woman of the bull or the dog. I call Lazarus. And the house is easier to be held together in the time of daily sacrifices come. Meaning Asherah is being sacrificed. Meaning Jesus Christ is being sacrificed. And the saints' 1,000 children are being sacrificed. Hear me. In my belief that the daily sacrifice will be taken down where Asherah is trapped in the burning sea called Jotunheim. He is trapped by Beelzebub, he is trapped by Perseus, and he is trapped by he who holds that trinity with the divinations Paul Emmanuel, San Miguel. He is trapped by those people in that trinity. But Artaxerxes, with King David Wiglaf, who says, redeem this bull, or I will break its neck, or redeem this bull, or let my child go, or I will kill him and all his firstborn, which is the 1,000 children. Let my saint go. And Jesus Christ, who's favored as the only Son, called the only saint. In Ephesians 4, you can read, he is redeemed, and the chance of children being born by the saint in every household of a redeemed bull, which I had redeemed here this day, has a better chance of livelihood rather than being taken in that daily sacrifice and acting crazy and fuck you, I hate you, and all these things, and getting arrested and punished for things that are of a daily sacrifice, partaking in a church, relieved of a bull, or a woman stripper relieved of all her deeds and that become a law officer, or whatever it is. But the day that the last saint comes, and that daily sacrifice Asherah is taken down, where he is trapped with Beelzebub that sucks from us our nutrients, where we might lack nutrients to go crazy and stir crazy and poison and vile and get arrested. Asherah, who is Jesus Christ, all the saints. The day that that sun comes down in Revelations 14 and burns us all, remember one thing. The bumblebee sucks from the flower, and there is no argument. And it goes to sleep at night and it wakes up in the morning, and the first thing it seeks is a flower. Understanding that the creature is seeking nature for a purpose, or it has a necessity that requires a necessity. In the time of burning, no one is really prepared for Revelations 14. Let's say that it is true that those things will take place, that the sun, the daily sacrifice of lust, will be taken down. Asherah will be taken down. And the way I describe the land to be the woman, even in man, of the sea, or 1 foot on the sea, 1 foot on the land, 1 foot on man, 1 foot on woman. The day of that burning, there is real no idea of any way to prepare oneself. But I've done the proper things in holding my testimony to small amounts of people, for I understand Jormungandr. The only thing that it reads in the Bible is repentance, redemption, salvation for what they have done to the saints. The abomination is to burn the saints.